If you've been thinking about moving to Hemet, California, I'm sure you've been doing tons of searching to find out everything you need to know about living there. This is your final stop. This is the last video you need. We are here to cover everything, full guide, everything you need to know about living here in Hemet, California. I'm going to break down for you the schools, the healthcare, the education, the jobs, the home prices, everything you need to know about living in Hemet, California right now. Hey guys, I'm Andrew Lewis, your local Temecula Valley realtor, and this channel is dedicated to all things living in the Temecula Valley. From new construction tours to neighborhood spotlights to new things coming here to the Valley, I want you and your family to know exactly what it's like living here before you make the move. Let's get to it. All right, so like I said, we are here to break down the full guide, everything you need to know about Hemet, California. Let's get into what people love about living here in Hemet. So what do people love about living here in Hemet? Well, first of all, it is the affordability. This is the affordable place to live here in the Temecula Valley. You can find homes in the $400,000 to $500,000 range, single family homes, condos, 55 plus communities. That just doesn't exist in Murrieta, Temecula. Feel free to check our videos out that talk about those price points as well. So affordability is number one. On top of that, you've got mountain scenery, you've got wide open skies. It just feels open and not necessarily as dense as you would find taller buildings and things like that located in Murrieta, Temecula, and some of the surrounding cities. On top of that, the cost of living is lower than the national average and lower than the local average too. So if you're looking for, again, affordability as far as cost of home and as far as the cost of everything else that comes along with living, then cost of living is super great for you here in Hemet. You're close to Diamond Valley Lake, walking trails, hiking, all sorts of things. So this is a great place with tons to offer, and we're gonna break down all the rest of the details for you. So now let's talk a little bit about why some people don't love living inside of Hemet. Obviously with the affordability is going to come some sort of trade-offs. So Hemet honestly has struggled in the past with reputation for bad crime statistics. Now there are some changes on the horizon and some changes that have been made that have improved those over time, but it's got a bad reputation for that, likely in the past, but is improving. It's a little bit of an older area, so there are some pockets of new development, but there's also some pockets of needing some additional love and some additional work to be done that right now it feels kind of like underinvested and not totally a bunch of new money coming in there to build things up. Outside of that, there's less economic opportunity, so a little bit fewer jobs, which we'll touch on here in a bit. The summers can get super hot in Hemet. You can see multiple days up over 100 degrees, and we are still a little over an hour drive away from the beach here, but you are going to suffer through some of those warmer days, as well as some limited nightlife in the area. Again, a little bit limited on the entertainment side of things, but it's steadily changing its reputation. So again, I mentioned that earlier, the reputation is changing and a lot of things have been put into place, and there's new money being invested into the area to help kind of give it a facelift a bit and make it feel a little bit more new, like some of the surrounding Temecula Valley cities. So our first stop here is to talk a little bit about shopping. That's been a question that we've got from a lot of people that have watched the channel and reached out to us. What does shopping look like in each of those areas? So for Hemet, you've got all your retail stuff that you would be looking for just about anywhere else. So you've got your Walmart, your Target, your Home Depot, your Lowe's. If you're going grocery shopping, you're gonna have Stater Brothers, Aldi, Winco, all the options that you would hope to see inside of a community, you're going to see here in Hemet. So you're not going to be lacking on that side of things. Outside of that, if you're doing some shopping, you might go to the Hemet Valley Mall, which is gonna have some stores for you. It's not as big as the Temecula Mall. It's definitely not what you're thinking in terms of a mall, but it's gonna have some other store options for you as well, some of the more popular type mall retail outlets. So you'll have some options as far as shopping there, getting your clothing and your groceries and your home goods and all that kind of stuff from your Lowe's and Home Depot and Targets and all of that as well. Now let's talk a little bit about my favorite subject, food. So where is all the good food inside of Hemet? What to expect when you live there? So you've got lots of locally owned restaurants. I'd say that's pretty unique to Hemet compared to certain areas of Murrieta, Temecula, Menifee. a lot of locally owned small business restaurants that you can visit. So some really great hidden gems there. You can have all your fast food options. So if you're looking for your McDonald's and your Wendy's and your Taco Bell, all that stuff exists in Hemet. It's well established, so you're going to have all of those choices if you want to actually eat those for you along the way. And then on top of that, you've got some of your more popular chain type restaurants that have entered the area as well. Outside of that, you've got Patillo Italian, you've got Polly's Pies, the Anchor Bar, La Fogata, Mexican restaurants. You've just got all sorts of other options for you. So while Hemet isn't necessarily a foodie town, it's not really where you're gonna go out and have all of the fine dining experiences that maybe you desire. You're gonna head a little bit outside of Hemet for that. You're gonna get down into Old Town Temecula, 25-minute drive. You may head down into San Diego for something much nicer, or up into LA, Orange County for things like that. So expect that you've got some decent food options, not amazing, but if you're looking for like a really fancy option, you're going to be driving just a bit outside of Hemet. So now let's talk about things to do. When it comes to living inside of Hemet, you've got some local options. You've got Diamond Valley Lake, which is going to offer some fishing and boating and hiking and camping, some things to do outdoors for you there. Outside of that, you've got the Ramona Bowl, which is a historical amphitheater in the area that gives you some options as far as some music from time to time and some plays. Ramona, which premieres every single spring in the area, gives you something to look forward to every single year there. Outside of that, though, I would say typically most often, if you're looking for things to do in Hemet, you're gonna have your bowling and theaters and some of those things. But if you're looking to just get super adventurous, you're gonna explore a little bit outside of Hemet. You might have to venture yourself down into, as we mentioned, Old Town Temecula for some good food, some live music, things to do, some antique shopping there. Or you may venture down into San Diego to catch like a Padres baseball game, maybe a little bit closer up into Canyon Lake to catch a minor league Storm baseball game. You may go up into LA, Orange County for some additional entertainment, or even, like I said, just a little over an hour to get yourself to the beach. So a few things to do locally inside of Hemet, obviously some sports and recreation and parks and all of those types of things for you that you may enjoy, but the big stuff is gonna be just a little bit further away. All right, now let's move on to a little bit of the cost of living type things for living inside of Hemet. First off, we'll talk about property taxes. I say that on just about every video. Property taxes are something you want to watch out for when it comes to living in the Temecula Valley. Now you can have low property taxes on the 1.1% range, all the way up to about 2.2 to 2.3%, and that's across the Temecula Valley. The good news with Hemet is on average, you're looking anywhere between 1.1 to 1.3%. So it's going to be more affordable as far as those property taxes go on the much lower side of things. Now, the reason for that is because most homes inside of Hemet are a little bit older, more established, and you don't have Mello-Roos tax that's going to come with those. Now, that is a different story if you find some of the new construction, like McSweeney Farms and some of those communities that are being built up inside of Hemet. Those type communities are going to come with a little bit higher tax rate and have some HOAs in that factored into it. But as a whole, you can get yourself a much lower tax rate when it comes to living in Hemet. So now we'll talk a little bit about HOAs or homeowners associations. That's something that you should be looking out for. So there are a lot of options inside of Hemet that have no HOA at all. So that is really great news if you're looking for the affordability side of things. Again, cost of living is a little bit lower in Hemet. So if you're looking to keep things a little bit more affordable, then there are plenty of options without a homeowners association. But if you're living in maybe some 55 plus communities or some newer communities being established in the area, then you can expect to find yourself an HOA of anywhere between $50 to $150. Some of those will have some amenities, some will have none. You may have a pool, you may have absolutely nothing, and just an HOA that polices things for you. You'll have to determine that neighborhood by neighborhood based off of what you like, but you can definitely find options with HOA or non-HOA inside of Hemet. Now we're gonna shift for just a moment into schools as far as what you can expect inside of Hemet. So when it comes to living in Hemet, I said there's gonna be some trade-offs. You're gonna be super affordable, but it's gonna come with a few things that you're going to need to consider. If I'm speaking honestly about the school system, it is going to be lower on the ranking side compared to neighboring Murrieta, Temecula, and some of those school districts as well. So you're just gonna wanna factor that in. You've got some really popular high schools. You've got Taquis High, West Valley High School, Hemet High School, to name some of the more popular high schools in the area. Obviously, you've got your junior high and elementary schools as well. Make sure that you check out greatschools.org. That's what we use to evaluate all the schools. So when I'm saying it may be ranked higher or lower than some of the other schools, check that out. And you can read all the reviews and all the rankings about the schools in Hemet. Now, outside of that, if you want to go into higher education, you've got Mount San Jacinto Community College. That's an option for that. And then if you're going to go, out into higher education beyond that, then you're going to travel a bit. You're going to, head down into San Diego for UC or Cal State San Diego. You've got Cal State San Bernardino, and all of those are going to be a little over an hour away for you. UC Riverside probably being one of your closest major schools for you, about 45 minutes or so from the Hemet area as well. So schools, again, just a little bit on the lower side. Some higher education options is definitely somewhere you can live and commute out to some higher education options as well. All right, so now let's move on to safety. And I did say at the beginning of this video that one thing that you had to watch out for was the reputation that Hemet had around crime statistics. Now, I encourage you to go out and check those out on your own. There are many sites online that you can check out those crime statistics. So before you move anywhere, Hemet, Murrieta, Temecula, doesn't matter. You should check those out on your own and form your own opinion on that. Now, so it does have historically a higher crime rate than surrounding areas. So that's a factor to consider. There are certain pockets, and you can locate those on some of those crime websites as well. And those are just some factors for you to consider there as well. Now, again, there are changes being implemented, and it has become safer over the years, but something for you to consider as you move into the area. Now, the area is policed by the Riverside County Sheriff's Department, which does a really great job. Like, the Sheriff's Department as a whole has a really great reputation here in the area, does a really fantastic job. Currently, you've got Sheriff Chad Bianco, who is in charge of that, and has really turned the whole program around there and done a really fantastic job. So has a really great patrol there, and they're trying to be as proactive as they can to try to change the reputation over time. All right, so now the section that maybe you've been waiting for is the talk about home prices. What do homes cost living in Hemet? I said they're more affordable than the rest of the Temecula Valley, so let's get to it. I will give you some prices here, but depending on when you are watching this video, you may want to pick up the phone and reach out to myself and my team so we can get you current, up-to-date pricing, because these are going to be as of today when we're recording this video, and we all know prices go up and down all the time. So keep that in mind. Now, when it comes to living in Hemet, you can find yourself an entry-level home on the smaller side for somewhere in the mid 300,000 range. I know that sounds super appealing, right? That is super affordable compared to the rest of the Temecula Valley. Now, your average price point for your average home inside of Hemet is going to be $440,000 right now. It's going to be your 3 to 4 bedroom home under 2,000 square feet. And then as we push up just a little bit larger, that's going to increase that price point just a bit. Get yourself into the 5, maybe 600,000 range on the high end for some of those larger homes. Now, outside of that, if you are looking for a 55+ community, you could find yourself in some manufactured homes in the area for anywhere between $250,000 to $400,000. So that is affordable for retirees and those looking for some affordability. Now, let's get into what kind of homes you would be purchasing here in Hemet. There's a ton of single-family tract homes in Hemet. So you've got a ton of that that's going to fit into your mid 440 average price point range. You've got some large rural properties. There are tons of properties in Hemet where you can have an acre or more with a custom-built home on that. Obviously, with that, you're going to be talking about $700,000 to $800,000 or more, depending on what kind of home is built on that property. So that is something that you can buy. There are manufactured and mobile homes. There are mobile home parks where you don't own the land. You pay a land lease. Could be a few $100s per month, but you could find yourself with a really inexpensive home that sometimes people come in and pay cash for, or you can find yourself a manufactured home on some land as well. I mentioned 55+ homes. There's tons of options for that. If you are looking for an active adult community, they would say, if you're looking for that, then there's some options for you there. There's even gated 55+ communities if that helps you feel a little bit safer. And now there is a ton of new construction happening inside of Hemet. Lots of undeveloped land that had been vacant for many years, now currently being developed and bringing in a lot of brand new construction homes as well. And we would be remiss if we did not talk about some rental prices. So maybe you're not looking to purchase a home and you just want to get out here and rent. That is totally fine as well. That's going to be affordable compared to the rest of the Temecula Valley and Southern California as well. So if you're looking for your 3 to 4 bedroom home, you'd be looking anywhere $2,200 to about $3,000 per month, depending on the size of that home. So you can keep yourself on the affordable side there at about $2,200 a month, but it's going to be a much smaller 3-bedroom home. Now, there are also, some 2-bedroom manufactured homes, condo options, a little bit smaller than what we were just talking. You could be paying anywhere from $1,700 to about $2,000 per month. And again, there are a ton of 55+ senior communities inside of Hemet that you could see prices even more affordable than that. So if you're looking for, again, affordable place to rent and to live, Hemet's got that for you. Now we'll move on for just a minute and talk about some of the jobs inside of Hemet. So what kind of job can you find when you live in Hemet? It is historically a commuter town. You're gonna live here typically and commute out to work. There's not a thriving economic activity inside of Hemet that's going to create a ton of jobs for you. You can certainly find yourself a retail job or education job, or maybe a healthcare job locally, law enforcement, firefighter, all that kind of stuff. You could stay pretty local if you were to find something along those lines. But if you're going outside of that, you're likely gonna work remote. A lot of people work remote that live in Hemet and maybe potentially have to commute once or twice a week down into San Diego or into Riverside or Orange County. We see a lot of that. But then you also might need to just commute and actually go into the office somewhere. And a lot of people will commute down into some parts of Temecula, again, or up into Riverside, maybe down into San Diego. So if you're looking to live in Hemet due to the affordability, you're probably gonna need to factor in that you're gonna drive a little bit unless you've already got some sort of remote job. So factor that in. That's gonna be a cost that you're going to want to weigh out when it comes to that commute. Not only does it cost you time, but it also costs you gas, and that's gonna cost some money as well. And now let's touch on the overall cost of living. So I'm not gonna give you specific numbers here. We actually have cost of living Hemet video for you to check out. That will give you the specific numbers, but housing costs are 50 to 60% lower than some of the coastal towns here in Southern California. So you're not going to get a view of the ocean from Hemet, but it is going to come with the affordability factor. Now, on top of that, when it comes to your average daily expenses, your gas and your groceries and all of that, it's going to be on par with the rest of the Inland Empire, the rest of the Temecula Valley. And so that's gonna be on average about what you would spend just about anywhere else. But you are going to save money on your property taxes, your homeowners insurance, your homeowners association, your HOA. All of those are lower than the surrounding cities. So while you may pay the same for a burger at McDonald's in Hemet as you would in Temecula, you are going to save significantly on your monthly expenses as far as your property taxes, HOA, and insurance go, just because of the other affordability factors that come with the housing there in the area. Next up, we always want to touch on your travel or your commute. If you are living in Hemet, what does that look like for you? So you're going to take your main road in and out of there. There's really two that you're going to experience, but you're going to take Dominigoni, which turns into Newport Road in Hemet, and that gets you to the 215 freeway. So Dominigoni is going to run east and west. That's going to head you over to the 215 freeway, which is going to take you north up into Riverside, Moreno Valley, or south down into San Diego. That's going to be kind of your main in and out point. Outside of that, you also have Winchester Road, Highway 79. That does intersect with Dominigoni and will get you access down directly to the 15 freeway, or get you down into Murrieta, Temecula if you're looking to do some mall shopping or some dining or entertainment down in that area. That's going to get you access there. Now, I did say that you're going to be a commuter, likely, if you are living in Hemet. One factor for you to consider is that it's going to take you 20 minutes to get yourself to a major freeway from Hemet. So it is well off the freeway, and it's going to take you a little bit of time just to get there. And then once you get there, then you're going to sit in some Southern California freeway traffic on top of that. So if you are commuting down to San Diego, you're talking an hour and a half minimum to get yourself there. It could be 2 hours on certain days with traffic. So you're going to need to factor that in. If you're heading up north into Orange County or into LA, you could be factoring in, again, another 2.5 hours or so for a drive there. So make sure that you're thinking about some of that. Now, when it comes to transportation, we also touch on how close are the airports? How far away are those for you? Palm Springs is an option when you live in Hemet. That's a smaller airport that you could visit, about an hour and 10 minutes away from Hemet. If you were looking to go to Ontario Airport, that is just a little over an hour drive. And then you've also got San Diego Airport, which is about an hour and 20 to an hour and 30 minutes to get yourself down to the San Diego Airport. Now, again, if we're talking San Diego commuter traffic times, that could be a completely different story, but on average, about an hour and a half to get yourself there. And lastly, let's touch on healthcare. I know that's important to people moving to the area. So what do you have as far as healthcare goes? Your main stop inside of Hemet on the healthcare side will be Hemet Global Medical Center. That's going to have most of what you need on that side of things. Otherwise, you've got Loma Linda Murrieta, could head up north to Loma Linda, up in the Redlands area. That's going to be, quite a drive there. But you've got those options. You can get down into Temecula Valley Hospital. You've also got some Kaiser locations here in the area, not directly inside of Hemet. That'll be 20-30 minute drive for you. And then if you're looking for much more major medical centers, you've got some serious treatment needing to happen, then a lot of people are going to commute south down into San Diego to find some hospitals that direction. All right, so that's a wrap on the full guide to living in Hemet, California. Hemet's a great option. If you are looking for affordability, maybe a place to get your start owning a home in Southern California, maybe a place to retire and downsize and simplify things, it's a great place for you there as well. Now again, it does come with some trade-offs, and there's some factors that you're going to have to weigh out, and I tried to be as honest as I could with you here inside of this video on some of those things that you want to weigh out for yourself before making the move here. Those are some serious factors to consider, but if you're looking for that affordability and you're okay with some of the commute pieces that come in and some of those other factors, this is a really great place to get your foot into the Southern California real estate market, which many people say is completely unaffordable. But you heard the prices here. They're as affordable as they can get inside of California. Now, certainly you could buy something for much cheaper in the Midwest, but when we're talking Southern California, this is the best place for you to get your start there, build up some equity, or retire here, sell everything off, simplify your life, maybe have no bills at all, but buy something cash. We see a lot of times here in the area. That's an option for you here inside of Hemet, and that's what attracts a lot of people. Now, if you were thinking about moving to Hemet or anywhere here in the Temecula Valley or Southern California, feel free to reach out to myself and my team. We talk to buyers all the time looking to move here, and they come to us directly from our YouTube channel, so it's not weird. It's okay. You can reach out. You can call us. You can text us. You can email us, or you can even schedule a one-on-one Zoom consultation by clicking in the description below. It takes you directly to a link. Click that link, it takes you to our calendar, and you can book some time for a Zoom call as well. Whether you are looking to buy in 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, doesn't matter. We're happy to have that conversation, answer your questions. That's what we are here for. We want to give you value and show you what it's like living here before you make the move. It's the theme of our channel here. So happy to talk to you anytime about that. Even if you're looking for just to get a feel of the area, we can even set up an exploratory tour for you. So feel free to reach out. Happy to chat with you. Thank you so much for tuning in. See you next time.